Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the final edition of the Breakfast Show for this week, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. We they stream na Facebook, YouTube, and also na we website, where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We will they bring this edition come to you this Friday morning. My name na Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Today na Friday, the 31st day of October 2025. Inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, after yesterday morning, where President Bio and in team go waka na the drugs rehabilitation facility na Hastings. Later in the day, yesterday, it been hold one high-level engagement with different stakeholders. Them Usai go talk about more measures them where it say government they put in place now for ensure say then get away with the issue we get to do with the current drug crisis. So we're waiting at the measures here and how they go able for tackle this issue. Now that's what they can discuss inside this edition of the Breakfast Show.
Well, this and other story them, they na the program for you this Friday morning. As you all know, the country, they battle with drug crisis, and after plenty advocacy for, especially from the media, finally yesterday, President Bio don't join the fight. Usai it take bold step for go na the rehabilitation center, get a conversation with the addicted victim there within at the rehab center, and he assure them say he go take the necessary action for letting government go fight against this particular crisis so the country they struggle with substance abuse. Well, yesterday evening, President Bio all high-level stakeholder engagement. Also, he bring together all the key player them, and he be address them. He receive a report. Also, they inform them, but also the country they now in the fight against this particular substance abuse, where young people in the country they struggle with. Well, this is a very bold step from His Excellency the President, as now these citizens them be done they call for, especially members them na the media them be done they call on them for take leadership. Finally, yesterday, the president, throughout the day, he did on different engagements them. Very early in the morning, he starts first for visit the victim them at the rehab center them. He sit down with them, get conversation with them, and tell them about the dangers of drugs. After that, he come back in office na State House, a whole high-level meeting. Also, he take decisive measures them in the president's ward, and according to them, in government go take strong actions against people them when they go catch say they bring these drugs, the one way they make these drugs, and self they don't give all the powers to the police for let them take the necessary action them. Among the thing them where the president been take yesterday when a part of indecisive measures them, he established a special fund where he said and they dedicate and solely for fight against Kush, and also he said the fund will support 5 strategic pillar them for add to the previous thing them where in government we don't set up for address prevention, rehabilitation, law enforcement, public education, and safe community engagement. Now, the measures there the president be announced yesterday. Well, for can't talk more about the measures there, and for know if them particular measures there, so go address all of the things the way the president say. Now, the studio will get Bokari Abdel Aziz Bawo, when the Deputy Minister of Information and Civic Education. Good morning, Mr. Minister.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, listeners and viewers. I'm very happy for joining on this conversation.
All right. Well, before we talk to the minister, now we'll go back in our State House. Also yesterday, His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, after a visit at the Hastings Rehabilitation Center and spend some time with the people that way na addict them, and he be reassure them say in government go take all the necessary actions. And the same day, he come back na State House and hold high-level engagement. Lord, just hear it from President Bio before we can talk to a minister.
The efforts we have made so far and the challenges should deepen our resolve against the scourge of Kush and all forms of drug and substance abuse. In light of your valuable contributions and the urgent need to strengthen and accelerate our response, I therefore announce today the following decisive measures First, a special fund dedicated solely to supporting the 5 pillars of our fight against Kush shall be established. This fund will ensure that our strategies from prevention, care and treatment, social support, law enforcement to community engagement are backed by sustained flow of resources to fight against Kush. Second, to bring swift justice to those who exploit and destroy lives through drug and substance abuse. A special court shall be created. This court will be staffed with designated judges and magistrates to fast-track prosecution, signaling clearly that the rule of law stands firmly against this menace. Third, we shall establish a special security unit drawing from personnel from both the Operation Support Division of the Sierra Leone Police and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. They shall intensify full-scale raids targeting drug peddling hotspots within our communities and effecting on-the-spot arrest. Fourth, it is hereby recommended that a new practice direction shall be developed and issued by the Honorable Chief Justice to guide the proceedings and sentences in all drug-related cases, bringing consistency and gravity to our judicial response. Fifth, the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice shall expedite the comprehensive review of all legislation related to drug and substance abuse, ensuring tougher penalties and enforcement measures, including asset seizures aimed at dismantling the networks that profit from this disastrous scourge. But beyond measures, we Sierra Leoneans have a fight on our hand. And this is a fight that requires heart and unity from every citizen and every sector. It demands parents recognizing the warning signs and acting swiftly. Teachers watch attentively over our students. Communities protect one another vigilantly. Religious leaders promote messages of healing, not stigma. Businesses extend opportunities through internship and jobs for those in recovery. Development partners deepen their support. The judiciary holds.
All right, welcome back. Well, that's now part of the thing where the president been talked about yesterday as indecisive measures where it don't decide to say government for focus on right now for ensure say the issue where now the fight against the drugs crisis, they intensify the measures and you just don't listen to waiting the president be say. Like we say, we get the deputy minister here this morning of information and civic education where they come for we can discuss and analyze the measures here, how effective they go for day, and also we go talk about timeline, how this starts, when it starts, waiting at the specific thing we don't in place. But let me just start first from the waka yesterday where the president's been go do na the facility where currently they host the one them we don't be addicted to drugs. We see the president be address them, he gets interaction with them people here, talk to them, he give them advice as to where they come out the for can be good people back in our society. But let me just start the obvious question where so many people they ask, where you might not agree with. Why it take the president this long for make this move where we see he do yesterday?
Thank you very much. Why it take the president too long for take this move? The first thing I will start with, I want to tell you thank you for this kind of place where I don't can now. We really depict the people that will sabi in the media landscape. I mean, when I don't try at this kind of progress the process I want. When I give support, we don't say when I don't tap into the public media interest fund or establish as an administration. And it is show power. Then I will also talk and appreciate Khadija for recognizing the role of the media in raising awareness. You know, we can always say Salon big pass we all. So whatever the threats in the future of Sierra Leone, it will be a concerted effort. The media and the civil society don't play a major role for raise awareness and call attention to this menace we don't happen in our country. So if the president listens to the media, and he's somebody who listens very well, and it take action, we all for take the praise that we call the attention of the president. And sometimes as a leader, you give people the responsibility, you allow them, then execute leadership, and intermittently, you will see whether what they do, they yield the required dividend. But if the president, we don't put task force, remember say when these things start initially, we hold a town hall meeting as a ministry, we have the vice president, we go address, then the president self will escalate them to a national health emergency. That show the political and administrative will for fit the thing. Cabinet also becoming give a legislative structure, framework for the power in declaration. Then all these other structures then fall in whether the task force fall comprehensively law affect this thing. At a time, we all can agree say the figures begin drop. So when the figures they begin drop, we feel say don't know. So even begin like pull out small party thing for pay attention to other things until we see another rise in this coach. So it became everybody's concern because this is not a pandemic. This not only way the thing hits somebody, they know say, hey, this is the effect of somebody taking drugs. So we all begin cry. Things that don't happen behind the scene, but as a listening president, so okay, if the people are crying, even though things that the reporter and they listen that this happen, make I get a first hand. Because if I got for give any other strategy, any other instruction, let me see what is happening. So yesterday we all see where you go now the rehab center, get first hand information from the victims, their parents, and other people. It was emotional. So it can say, even if things have been happening, we need another direction, another fight, another energy for ensure, say, as a nation, how we fought the war, we end up, how we fought Ebola, we end up Corona, we end up Mpox, don't care, we don't deal with that. Let us see what we can do. So I make yesterday, he called that meeting, we cut across government, development partners. When I say government, both ruling and opposition representation be there around the table. And the development partners, they be there, UN, Chinese ambassador in his capacity as the dean of the Council of Diplomatic Corps. So we all sit down and listen across the year report on waiting be done to happen. From the task force professor, they in charge of the public health emergency, when the task force lead give a succinct report about who side will be there waiting at Kush, who stand Kush come, waiting we do, and who side the situation there where it don't come back. It will surprise anybody for CC. In fact, in West Africa itself, we had low there. Now we don't really see. People that are really high. But with population also small compared to other people there. And we don't invest, the president don't invest too much in human capacity development. They really try to give feature to the next generation, I can call them. Because there are people who supposed to take after we don't go. So if you don't put this much into preparing for tomorrow, you don't vouch, say, you want to let people that knows value not based on diamond, but the human capacity that you see, these same people where they plan for, they go down so. Yesterday he was tough. It's okay when I don't do all these things. But I think we have to recalibrate. And this recalibration, wait till when I be done, they do work. Now it just go give life to back. Not that wait till be done, they exist. Now it don't erode, bring new things, no. Now enhancer. They try for enhance, which will make this thing we able better. Because then thing always states that for just reinforce what we don't do. Because a lot of people don't complain, say, yes, when they talk, past Mokuting cases, they delay, breaking the chain, funding rehab centers, the program. So all the 5 directives where the president give, now for let it reinforce in commitment, now for let put life again into seeing that this thing will fetter and will fetter as a country. I make it say, this fight, the only face where you forget, now Australian face. It's not about politics. It's not about anything. Let us unite. Let us be cohesive in the fight for end Kush. So we all, be it the media landscape, be it the civil society, opposition, ruling party, as long as you are Australian, let us all join hands. Whatever you want to complain about Kush, SLA call 117.
Mr. Minister, you don't unpack the things the way the president said yesterday and why he decided for take some of the measures there so as additional to the one the way beyond they exist already. Just like how President Bill said yesterday, according to Rainin words, not to today, this many stats, especially the substance so then they call Kush. According to President Bill, from the report to the it don't start way back from 2016. But there's a pattern. Whenever the law enforcement agencies seem for forget but they work, and self the advocacy reduce small, you they see say the supply chain they become intensify. How una go ensure as a government say then new measures there so una don't add to the already existing one, it work and try for solve this problem.
So that is why I say the 5 directives of the president gave, not different. Now push and enhance the enhance what will happen. Like what you say for establish a special fund. Then they ensure say money they always for do whatever you want to do, which includes even raising awareness, training community people, capacity building to civil society organizations so that we enforce this awareness, even for take care of rehabilitation, the rehab center, this and that. So establishing that fund, that special fund, now for let's just ensure that there is fluidity in the funding of whatever strategy you want to implement. They also talk about establishing special force, which include the police and OSD. You know what I mean? Whenever we invoke Mark P in anything, now for show seriousness. So police and soldiers coming together now for ensure that the security is prepared and alert for any call we meet for anything. The raiding, like what the Inspector General started say, care for continue. As he call, you blow that whistle. There is a standby special force that you work no more for pay attention to Kush issues. He also talk about delays in prosecutions. So you see, it say there's let the AG now look at waiting the procedures in a court. Sometimes can be too tedious. If you go to the regular procedures, now they make sometimes you they see the whole person. they say about that street. Because if they try them people that using our old laws, wait on saying this thing Kush now they talk about not be in our law. This thing that with people that they sell. Tramadol, somebody can sell that regularly. If now you see then the abuser, you can now go back and say, yes, tramadol are legal drugs, but not to everybody for sale. So that is why you say let AG go look at what do we do around our laws. We will go to parliament for ensure say we affect this and we'll affect our once and for all. We also get dedicated courts, like what we get special courts for gender-based issues. So that when this thing happens, it go to court, there is speedy trial. Then somebody will not say, hey, this is the joke with it. So these are enforcers. All the special things that we put in place and for let them help the task force for really accomplish what's in their mandate.
One thing where the president emphasized on yesterday during the visitation where he do na the rehab center about the supply chain and demand, in as much as it be the give hope to the victims, he also encouraged them say if demand not there, the policy where they bring and come, no go get business, no go sell. And the supply chain now one way a lot of people on the raise issues about. And the way you look at the names them allegedly where don't they come up, now people them way related to the presidency or powers that be. How the measures there so go ensure say whoever we involve, no matter your relationship with the president, the law will bring you to book.
So within our other program, I tell somebody say, now me and you responsibility for come out and really shows it. It's not just about assuming that this person is involved. Tangible evidence, like we will all sit down and we will raise awareness. You see the president intervene. He's somebody that listens. So if we really know that there's somebody involved and we have evidence, we all put it on social media. President don't talk say if not even in your brother big son side way not to forbid a letter broker. Not supposed to really protect somebody when they do bad. We all sabi whether person you are genuine or not. We know say President Bill, he's tough in decision making. And when they take decisions, we don't see the decisions that we don't take over time. You don't want to know how you are related to him. You don't want to know whether you, how when you cross that path, we don't want to let you path, they knock you. So it is also a collective responsibility for them to say, yes, not to just assume what they assume. All these things about saying they run away, they don't cage, they don't cage anybody that is related. Now, people just they allege. For instance, the person they cage na McKinney, it's not related to anybody. Now, all of them we know they expect themselves if they do that kind of thing. Somebody with a cage na Bay Junction, you know, they had any MDA, it's not related to any minister. So we are alleging this thing about suspicion. Now we get, and the president is very clear. Yesterday, IG did, the head of the military did, is very clear. Even the one where the head port was there. And the emotion, when president they talk things where it really mean, it ready for take action. When I all can see how can they. And we all done the yesterday, we don't see all these things we don't come from them. It don't show we get the leadership will for this thing. If anybody try for blocker, and we get evidence against that person, we put on our social media, we say things are going bad about Kush fight, where it can take action, it take action.
Explain about the toll-free line where you say the public for the call now based on the new measures and what the president don't talk about. Specifically, this free line now for whose category of the one then where they take the drugs? Is it the one then where they in a street? Is it people where some say you then are you community, you they know say somebody they deal in then drugs here? Who that then specifically?
117 for report the issue. 117 for really blow whistle on Kush. 900 now like where they also you see cops. And 900 they call for the police for the action starts. Because we really want to get a process we will all be able to follow and we will able to evaluate. We will get sincere and coherent data on what they happen. So that is why when you call 900, you get possible where they come, do the examination. Instead, you get the way where they refer. We get possible where they take and go to mortuary examination. They have to get somebody in charge of burial. we get somebody when in they provide grave for let bury. So everybody they know how many dead body we don't collect. So 900 is for really how for handle the corpse. 117 is for really blow whistle on Kush matters.
What about the one them way we can see in a different state, the way already done they take the Kush and then get source them all over them?
So that one the way you call it 900, they can't take like go to rehab.
Are there centers for hold the number of people waiting at streets currently?
Well, that is why they try for also expand on holding centers. Before now, we only get Hastings. We be there for everybody. Now, we get Hastings. We get for East. Now, regional deployment of holding centers now we get. So, we just clock everybody in our Hastings now. We know they expect the number for bloat with our new, fight. So, that the number get for big that Hastings not going to accommodate. No, that is why a two-way. Once we try for really take care of the one way they take, we also want to break the supply chain so that the number not they increase. But also in preparedness, now make we don't get regional deployment of rehab centers.
When you look at last week, we talked to the consultant psychiatrist from the Kisi Mental Hospital, where now one of the places there now where they treat people them where now substance abuser them. From January to now, from in data, it shows say there's an increase. How the measures there also go help in bringing down the statistics?
So that is why the president emphasized the supply chain and community champions who they train for really engage people. If you follow the program yesterday, there was somebody where in a graduate from the rehab center they don't form a foundation as a way they talk to a company. They say I'm a footballer, he signed contract, he go Liberia, he was frustrated about his contract, he come back home, he take to drug. But instead don't realize from where they take a rehab center, he go through everything, he normalize, he sometimes don't realize that there's life after drugs. So when we reinforce all these things, we talk to people then the number when they're gonna it will reduce. Because people are taking these drugs. What do they do now? The first place where they can go now under for level manage them. Before if the one where they saw and other things, now they can go in a hospital and other things. Some other people can go for go rehabilitate them. Because then they go to a rehab center for take them away from the drug. Because when they're in the community, they still get access to that drug. So once you are treating them, you are keeping them away from the supply and give them other life. Now they try to train them into other skills. Social welfare, because they really place them, they take them without government, they send back to school, university, because we get people that we left university, they take to drug. I had a kid I took from Bo. I'll always give. If I be there on social media, they call me name, maybe I get a second life, it takes to drug. Now FBC there. I take them from SS1. In FBC, for what third year? Now I take to drug. Now it is Bo. So then they go to a rehab center. First and foremost, you try for take away from the drug taking, then give them hope, then you can go reinstate them. Now the academic this thing. So it is a comprehensive fight. We don't require any blame game. But we all, because one individual, one Sierra Leonean, now we all one person point us are able to point this whole thing.
Mr. You just make mention of something very important, and if you don't follow how the conversation they go, especially in the social media, there's this issue of blame game about who responsible and who are not responsible. For instance, the issue between the Freetown City Council, the mayor, and that of the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs about who are responsible for getting the cops them. A data where the mayor publish about, as of that 10 day, it's saying about 220 people council don't bury. So the ministry question how collaboration Tanlik in this fight? Is the president willing for call other political actors on board? Because now one of the things then that there were a lot of people be expecting yesterday say if we talk about.
So that is why around the table you get everything. Everybody be did it. The minority leader in the parliament be did it. The mayor also be there around the table. We all get this discussion. Before we even go now the meeting with the president call. Now this task force pool. Yeah. One is a public to call police hotline 900, like I say.
900 from any number.
Yeah. Police and medical examiners go to the site. When you call police, then they can decide, they take photo, then they inform the Ministry of Social Welfare. You understand? Then they take the body, they can go to mortuary.
The number, the 900 really they work because I just call it the ring. Now the number we just give.
Now that they give you say.
Yes,
call
but it really they work. Can they tell you say it they work?
Yeah,
now?
they work. So this pathway where they don't define so, it give everybody in your responsibility. So that if now 5 dead body I don't can present to you, you go back. You know what tell me is now 10 dead body you don't beg. When you say that 10 dead body you don't beg, me I be saying at 10. Because the police we can decide and also now 5, they don't now 5 sites they don't visit. Social welfare knows in 5 sites. The mortuary people they don't say now 5 sites. The burial team knows in 5. Then the one we beg knows in 5. So nobody no go bring figure away in company deny. So these are all the things that we'll put in place so that the data will be, coherent.
Is the president willing for carry along other political actors then? Because una within a political leadership, una get una own constituency. As soon as they see collaboration, things say it go really
In
help.
this line where I define so FCC get in role. Clearly. In the meeting yesterday, the mayor did it. The opposition minority leader did it. So if you not want to carry them along, they start with them calling them around the table. And you may remember when Corona will start, the president also called on Paulo Bangura for tap on the experience where you get in handling Ebola. So he's not possible to open. Now you see that Alpha Khan they talk for the president. Say because Alpha Khan have the opposition, try they blast for me, they vilify me. It's still appointed because say he's a Sierra Leonean, he talks well. He talks on critical issues, he talks to the fact. He still talk for me. He's a presidential spokesperson, somebody who is a known deliberate APC. Now they talk for the president as the presidential spokesperson. Me they talk as a deputy government spokesperson. But when he relate to the president, Alpha Khan, devoid of political shades, a picker. Our president is not a president with too much burying himself in political colors. Around the table, we get people from different political parties as ministers. Democratically, we get one of the most, how do I call it, government of national inclusion. I'll say it without anything. And we don't ever coerce anybody for saying because we don't make you minister, they announce you from our party, ECA. You do it at will. The president is not interested in that. And he has assured that 2028 election, go for a face longer for the ballot paper. Yes, now he don't tell we this. So everything we do now just for national interest. Now make yesterday he said we all are citizens. Let us not send this thing as a blame. Let us not put color. Let we all fight for the future of this country.
The thing we go concrete the political will we they explain so of how the presidents are really come on board now. People don't actually say I don't go to the center. Outside people and the way don't addicted and they don't announce them 5 new decisive measures. Yeah, the concrete part of them where people don't live long now for see again. Now the resources and the very first measure where it talk about gets for do with that specialized fund. Let's talk about the resources. This specialized fund, how it work. Is there resources where government generates for points to the fund? Because if resources not there, commitments by words not go concrete enough for letting actions then they come into existence.
Okay. When the president with the campaign, he talked about free quality education in his manifesto. before he came to power, then austerity was declared. Yeah. Then when he assumed power, people tell him, say, with over ambitious, with free quality education, take it from pre-primary to university. Let cut that and say, no, let us have it as a vision. We go find the money. The idea, therefore, day before you begin to talk about money, the strategy, therefore, the strategy now we don't establish too. The next thing is say, now, before the donors, UN rep, the diplomatic corps, they don't tell us, say, we now they create special fund. Yes, as a country, we have to make commitment. We ring-fence some amount, then we try to pool funds from donors who we always defect when there is crisis. But what you want to ensure, like we don't talk about before the Minister of Finance, is it's not a situation when somebody go want something, they say money no day. Whatever is their ring fence, then whatever we get from the donors, it has to be kept for the purpose. So yes, what they talk is correct because they are relapse, because even the rehab centers will begin run out of funds, begin reallocate funds to other areas. But now, until we fight this, and we all agree, say, and the president say he's keeping eyes on a special fund with effect this strategy. We're not the pray God for let even last long, because that is why we are deliberate in all the actions, both actions and the president they talk about in this fight. He want to ensure, say, the funding available locally and internationally for fight this thing. If it's a crisis now, you don't reach crisis level. So that is why it
money where they come out from governments when people were expected they go now the fund.
Not for say nah they pull and I go put under. Now just telling the finance minister that funds should be available for this thing. Whatever you get, no country not going to get that thing. It just need now for redirect funds that you put out. Social welfare not come for something, it's no another money.
Or plans and then they will be done the get so from social welfare instead the agency itself for the fights.
The executive instruction. Don't go to the Minister of Finance now. And the one they say around the table, when I did donor partners, development partner, they say don't hear the plea to the president from the presidency. We need now for put money special for this situation.
Mr. Minister, many times government don't they come out and say then they struggle in terms of funding. Now, President Bio don't take this bold step for instruct a Minister of Finance for ring-fence certain side na the national budget and dedicate to this fund, which means the president they deprive other area them just because this is an emergency and also a crisis for tackle them. But in the area of management, it's very important for know who that they manage these funds, because if President Bio don't take up leadership, it deprive other sector them for create funds for this particular fight. Citizens go want for lay this money go to the right place because the taxpayers' money. How do they manage this fund?
So when we come now, governance, you don't say the president creates single treasury accounts. Many money even come out when the president won't say in this. Because there's even across the globe, because of all which that happen, donor funding not too rapid. If we not be prudently manage the small money there and try for that's why we even when we come forth we say okay, free quality education I don't put now we say fit salon. Not that we are not taking every other people on board, but side A one put strength. Now this issue don't reach crisis level. We are just saying fund for always be available. So the finance minister, with all which he don't do, even in the worst situation, we don't see how we don't come on inflation from double digit, it don't carry it to single digit. So that same prudent financial management, now the president appeal to. He's not going to shut down other areas. We try for the president just want to ensure say there's availability of funds for fund all the pillars for ensure say this crisis in the shortest possible time we're not able to tackle her. Not that he's going to forget about funding this XYZ ministry, yes. There is a struggle. You know, the donor partners, I will say, increase local revenue generation. And when you want to increase local revenue generation, a tax you expand on. And when you expand on tax, you have to affect a lot of sectors. So sometimes you don't want to do it. So you dey manage them. How you dey go small, small. You know, why? And it can be some side they say, no, if you don't increase your tax base, we not give X, Y, Z. These are conditions we can come from the IMF and other places for let you increase local revenue generation. So the one way you get, the small money you get for manager prudently. Now we have a crisis. Whenever there is a crisis, you forget that national focus. So everybody for understand saying now we get Ebola for fate. Let's say in a country, even US, if there is, let's say war break out, if they see the resources, they go too much to fight in the world than any other side. They will not close, they will not shut down the other area, but you get for redirect funds. So now the president is saying, keep funds always available for fund the 5 pillars for Fed Kush. So everybody wait about. The way I do and I made the talk as deputy, I'm your role. The finance minister, in your role, like the president tell us so, that money for be available. Now in the prudent management of the economy, and then get her. But the president don't redirect now say, let Fed Kush and money for day. Going at the justice sector, we're going to get special magistrates just dedicated to Kush across the country. Quite apart from all the other jobs that they get for always available. They say even on Saturdays they for sit for handle Kush cases. The Attorney General get for go and look at with laws and see what we will do for let this way to happen so let it not happen again. So everybody get in your role. In your role now for ensuring money there. So we all don't go back home yesterday and everybody they think about you. We your role now for raise publicity on everything. So I was very happy just coming from the meeting. You call me and say, Canada. I said, thank you very much, Khadija. I make a cow.
So that means they can see more centers for hold them people and we already addicted
Regional.
for go get
Regional.
treatment.
4. Regional. Now I talk 1, now Hastings. We get now Gundama for the south. We get Daru for the east. McKinney don't provide their own place. We get struggle whether how for establish the McKinney, but now the willingness done there and acceptance, so they don't provide space. It will happen there.
It clearly shows that leadership been lacking in this crisis where the country they go through. Now that President Bio don't take up the leadership, how government plan for maintain these structures? Because now that on the battle with this crisis, President don't activate several measures. We also talk about establishing rehabilitation centers. During where these numbers begin go back, now the time many people know say rehabilitation center they not be functional. Governments say they not been get money. Now they don't open their center, then they back and try for get new one them. How na plan for maintain the structure there? Let it not be say now where emergency happen, on a rush quick and put together structures. After that, government abandon them back.
So this na an unfortunate opportunity. Not to see where anybody they plan for. A camp, as a country will fetter, the numbers begin go down. You know the centers for just say we go for expensive people that go take drugs. After everything we will do, people begin come on at the holding centers and they go back to the community, then they sensitize. Our thought was it will help reduce the situation. So we try for pull out a little bit. Just like what they say right now, they try for put funds together for level fair time. If we get the numbers going down to a minimal stage, that funds you redirect out to other priority area. You know, we just sit down there, other places are deprived, then nothing they happen at this sector again. It not make any meaning nationally to we. If we get the figures going down to a situation where they say, okay, we don't Fed Kush, do you want us to still maintain that fund seated? Say something will happen again. We're not able to pay school fees. We're not able to fund feed salon. No. If we Fed this, it go down. We get the responsibilities for also look at other priority areas. Now, the leadership of task force may they then do everything. I made them provide a report yesterday to the president. But going forward, if all these things we don't do, then we see this rise in figures again. We go back to drawing board and see what he for do. What did the president say? That task force, or what did they do, that pillar, or what did they do? Now for just enhance, for let them do more. Not that there was no leadership. There was leadership at a stage. We get this thing under control, then it come up again. We all cry. So sometimes you need somebody from above for really talk for the finance minister say you need to give that person money for this thing. Now it do yesterday. The police need for no say the president is concerned. So when they dictate policeman for let it go per Kush business, they play with I know saying in dispute they play with because this is coming from the first gentleman. The law officers, if the president don't say Saturday, they don't put this kind of thing, then the CJ says Saturday work, get a speedy trial of cases. You know one, you know say not to in the defy, you are defying the number one gentleman. Same way, so he said, Attorney General, go and revisit our laws, take it to Parliament, or look at which we can include. Like, one person can say, not plant jamba. It will be inside law. But if somebody plant jamba, which in a defense, they say 1,000 limbs. That first 1,000 limbs, what they talk about, so when I want to do now. Somebody can plant jamba, we like, you pay 1,000, let it go back. But if they say, now, a person plant jamba, now 100 million they pay. If you get like the brochure, because they will you. But we lost them, the figures where they need it. If we implement her, they make any meaning. That is why you see people, the whole land, they come back as society. Because the fines that we in our books there, they make any meaning. So the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, in your responsibility now for go look at with laws that they relate to drugs and substance abuse and see the one that we weak and let we all come together as a nation and see what you could do so that people deviate from bringing those things into our system.
How the assessments get for work? Because if they say them go get for each one, I will go back na the drawing board for assess. If really these new measures are what the president don't talk, but then 5 new measures here, they work. How the assessments work? Is there any timeline to the assessments for go back?
In every project implementation, you first plan what you want to do. Then you find the resources, you begin execute. After perhaps 6 months, 1 year, if they do an evaluation. That evaluation, midterm or preliminary evaluations, now go show you what's in the situation. Whether what you be say, if they do, now the correct thing. Or whether what you be say, if they do, now they do. So those reports, initial report, now they tell you whether for change strategy or not for change strategy, whether they achieve your goals or they achieve if you continue in that line. So anybody will set out those kind of things, you get midterm or initial reviews where they do project reviews and for already get the indicators. First, you don't forget key performance indicators where they show you say this strategy is working or it's not working. That is being established. The number of figures where they show now the various size, key performance indicators. How many funds will they continue for spend? The more funds they go now, the more you know say the case is alarming. But if social welfare, this person not, and they ask for anything with respect to, you don't know say the thing is dropping. So there are key performance indicators that will be evaluated for speak to what will happen. If you implement projects, you don't get any plan for review and redirect or sustain what you don't do, then that's not a good project.
Mr. Minister, this recent spike in the numbers exposed a lot. Say governments not get structure for handle emergency because now way the advocacy intensify recently, especially from the media. Now can't even know say rehabilitation center then be closed. Government say money not been there. Now that President Bill don't establish a special fund where money they day for Fet Kush, you just don't make mention of new rehabilitation centers when they open regionally. Waiting at the measures where governments go put for maintain then structures there so that if any other emergency come, it already get structures. Not always something happen, will go back and set up emergency numbers then. Not always something happen, governments go back and say, let's build or let's reopen rehabilitation centers.
So drug intake, not a pandemic, for which you will say, okay, we put measures in place for surveillance, this and that. No. Like we Ebola come, a test we know what it do, we prepare for any other pandemic. Now make we corona can you see how it be we mpox can you see how it be. Drugs, even in big economies, America, Britain, this Kush business today. A day drug intake, somebody they take drug in you know. Now the effect I'm gonna show say this person they take drug. And some of these drugs that back with what they take, now normal drugs, now misuse no more. That is why in other countries, not to everything they buy over the counter, not to every drug they say give anybody. Now somebody they prescribe them before that prescription and they make them sell to you. We get drugs that when are normal drugs. If somebody, for instance, go buy tramadol, they sell it over the counter. That is why when we say let we revisit with laws then, sometimes some drugs and then I will say, okay, if somebody not get prescription, not sell it to her. So if somebody cannot say I want tramadol, because today they sell tramadol normal. Now we don't revisit the impact of tramadol, misuse of tramadol. They will come with the situation and say, okay, not to everybody for sell tramadol. In fact, not to every pharmacy forget tramadol. There you go. Now you see tramadol others say, so now you don't commit crime. Then the fine way then they put. Then they tell you, say, I no need for carrying out the sales of tramadol. So those are the things, they just, but for say, we therefore know, say, other drugs, therefore can we person they misuse, nobody can predict that. Nobody. And then people that were in a rehab center, where yesterday they talked to the president, imagine there's a lawyer. He get picking, he get woman. So that person could tell us out of frustration or because I don't get job, I take to drugs. No. Somebody when me put university, I take drugs at university. It was saying that because I not me, mama don't die, I not get person for take care of me. No, some people are just peer influence. So that is why this the one that we don't go through the system, you call them back for let them lead the advocacy, then grassroots network that will reform, and for let them really tell the people the effect of allowing somebody for influence you.
Structures there, so governments will maintain them.
No, we not even maintain structure for fed drug abuse. The awareness of the reason for young ones and know say drug abuse is bad. Let us not plan for people taking drugs later on. This is not a pandemic. Now behavioral change. We all need for raise awareness to everybody. Somebody will just come. Me once it don't affect me once. I was so tired. I go to my friend. And I say, look, tablet. And I say, but don't take all. It says splitter. Now I say this one tablet, now they split. Now take her. I don't even know how I be there. Anything when you talk to me, I just say, I'm telling you. Today that's when they call me, I'm telling you.
So was it drama
what was it? Just say, I said, I look tired. I said, this and that because I travel. Like, what I go now? I said, where are they feel? I said, tired. I said, I really need rest. He was very clear. He said, look, drugs. He said, but not take all. He said, broke up. I see small drugs. I said, this is not need for broke. So I just take one whole to take water and not drink. But I think I have a need for sleep. But I was still working with him. So anytime I just say, I'm telling you. Say today they call me, I'm telling you. So it is substance abuse. I abuse that drug that day. Because it tell me say not to the prescription and the broker, whether that be 500 milligrams, say make out 250, me take the 500. So some of them, but whatever they take that feeling no more, that moment, the way I be the feel, I cannot explain it. Because I just sit there and smile. They say, you okay as I'm telling you. So this is how people get to take drugs. Sometimes a party just give you something, you meet somebody. That is why when people then say, when they run after the bubble there, instead of breaking the chain, wherever they are gathered, they inform you. Somebody this drug that I want to wait to take and I want to place somewhere sit down. So it means somebody they around there and what they sell. And some, like the president said yesterday, the one that will influence you, the one that will sell you when I give the names. And it tell the police that list whatever they give, I want it. Because somebody influence this person and somebody then community there. We all know. They go there in a work boy, they build houses. They get 5 motorcar. We all they admire and they take their small money there, but they spend. But you don't really know what this person they do when they get this kind of money.
Minister, President set up a special security unit which comprises of the military, the OST, and other security agency then. Why setting up a special unit for fat drugs?
Dedication. Now we don't see the number of raids without they happen. We all be done with some time where they say, in fact, the system not serious for feds. Anytime you put standby force for react, and because we are serious about fighting, even you rebel, if it gets standby force ready for any incursion, now the preparedness. So that force now.
Is it that una notice say the police will get the enforcement powers not be able for take up some of the drastic measures we make president say, you know what, let me set up a special
police
unit.
Get not a special unit per se for saying other people that they train for drugs. We just get people that are now dedicated to this fight. Police or military get different duties by their mandate in the constitution. But now that there's this crisis, a national crisis, we can forget people there, just like magistrates there. Get magistrates dedicated, get special court dedicated to trying this matter. No means say we don't take and say the lawyers or the magistrate are not be done they do more. But now once we know say if there's drug related matter, now this court they go. Now this magistrate they in charge. If there's any cry, we get possible with the whole.
So these units then dedicated to the fight no more.
Yes.
They're not gonna get duplication in the roles.
No, this one another prepared force, alert, anytime when you call from that unit, now they come. Therefore, they across anytime you call, then they alert for the raiding, this and that. We get force. You know, Inspector General or the CDS time reach and say, they be call but we not get Sugaman there or we Sugaman them because now we even use Sugaman there for agriculture. We they use Sugaman there for engineering. They do roads. So now we don't want that situation where you will say we don't get police there available. We don't deploy police there. The president is saying, just like where they say, take some force, keep them, funds, keep them. He say also take some force, personnel, keep them, let them be alert. If somebody call, somebody for be available for response. That is why we are doing this.
The issue of drugs, like how the president have been say recently, now one of him speech them to the Sierra Leone community in the US. Now people make a lot of money from the issue of drugs. And if you look at them, now whole cartel, where the one them were really involved in the drugs, they are making very good money out of this. And we don't see people in uniform safe where then they say they take drugs. This particular set of the army, the OSD, where the president say for fight against these drugs. Why people for trust them?
Because they don't do anything when they make you distrust them. They are Sierra Leoneans. With or without these drugs fight, they don't serve the nation. You don't get evidence against them. The one way where they take drugs, we kind of social media will dismiss them. In Sierra Leone, you are assuming, you always see so we are assuming innocent when they take drugs. We don't mean so they take. Past women can't tell you say why they don't take drugs. But we are assumed innocent until proven guilty. When they say can say the one already now military, the one already now with police, now Sierra Leoneans of high reputation. Because somebody don't dedicate for protect the lives and properties of Sierra Leone. Somebody don't dedicate himself for protect the sovereignty of Sierra Leone. That person, even the Quran, respect her. Somebody will dedicate himself for faith for a nation. Now, gentlemen. Now,
rather for the parts of this particular.
Now from the general services
group.
that they take. But that person really don't dedicate. Yeah, pay setter. Example. In fact, you come under the microscope. I was a Sierra Leonean person, a school teacher or a college boy. What they do and what they do as a minister is quite different. So that person has already dedicated for this Kush. In fact, your own expectation is greater than any other person now. So it also puts them under the spotlight. But until they do something questionable, we'll say, we not trust them. The system trusts them. Yeah? Until they prove themselves. That is why they say put them aside. And then they just put them, they left out. They're still under the leadership of the two forces, the police force and the armed forces. These are discipline and professional units. So if they dedicate you to a special assignment, the highest professional standards is expected of you. That's just the commitment.
Where did they go on now? And the last time where the police come out, now on Tuesday, try for give updates through the press briefing within King Hall. With these numbers, is President Bill worried about the youthful population, the way how they don't go into drugs?
I started from there. If there is anybody who for be worried, that the president for be worried. Why? In your desire, in your vision, and before giving hope to then youth them. The reason why they pay public exam fees now for letting you life. Most of people them, they will say them day today because somebody not be there for pay fees for them. Most we are limited. I took 4 years off academic listing because I not be getting fee for enter university. I draw chain, I turn apprentice, I not be get that policy for give me second life. Yeah. When I decide for left in my career, I don't even know that they can't do. But I survive them. So if somebody come, they say they pay fees, say people put fund for like you were not able, like when you want to do master, you want to do PhD for go take a loan for do them. Meaning all the obstacles then will be whole we make we not able to reach with potential. I always say I'm not ever able to reach my full potential. I intended to be an engineer. I'm not able to do engineering because I lost my dad. There was nobody to pay. So now I find myself here. If somebody day now it make that it look at all what we don't go through, then it try for define a future for the young man then you pass and see them in that state. If really you are genuine, like that what I take, I can't wait for a second life. Then you see it break down into that's the way they do now. It depends because the resources were don't waste. If I don't put our other side, or if I don't take other picking, very many other picking in there, when we want that opportunity, they not get I take that from SS1, third year in the university. So if anybody should be worried, if anybody should be concerned, is President Bill for be alive and see all your effort being eroded. I can always say, all what the president they do so about education, and where it come out, now the impact of this free quality education they begin to show, not to do it in time. The impact of anything, not the way they implement the impact they come out. Where people that can say, what's the impact? Project, the impact now long-term result. So the president go one way, you see the class Sierra Leone when it comes to academic and other things. But if you see that same Sierra Leone they plan for, so you see the young man and take another, he is concerned. And that is why you see yesterday he was emotional when he talk to we. Me, I always read the president in body language.
You're not body language expert?
No. Even from where we deal with opposition, sometimes when I write something, they say, he can write as if he did with me. He said, but you can't hear me. I said, no, body language, sir. When you are for something, I know you are for it. When you are against it, even when you are not talking, I know you are against it.
Mr. Minister, let's bring you back to the issue of this fund. We get...
You want to donate?
We get agency with the for National Public Health when Professor Fodisa the Adam, and yesterday he was part of the stakeholder then where President meets with. In fact, it represents
tax force. Now even give report.
Yes.
So he's not a different personality.
Yes.
Now they head public health agency. The tax force will put together, what the president put together, 9 reports yesterday.
I know all of that. I'm trying to make a case. You don't do a presentation. According to you, take we back from where the problem starts. The task force, the role they be get will not be work. We make presidents come with additional measures. Is it that this fund, where presidents don't say the Minister of Finance for fair money and puts the now under Professor Fodesa in supervision again for the?
So all the city is the lead of task force. Under that task force, there is risk and prevention. Under that task force, there is community engagement. Under that task force, there is a lot of 5 pillars now we get, but there's the head. So if we need really for up awareness raising, any budget we do, now to Professor Idesena. Social welfare, if they need anything, the task force, now they oversee the pillar I know the head.
So now the
So
public health agency get for manage this fund.
no, and Minister of Finance demand. We honor to Minister of Finance with a request. Everybody in the Minister of Finance they send budget, but there is somebody even as a ministry, department and the sectors and the budgets where they come up from a ministry for what a Minister of Finance. Every sector therefore say I therefore need paper, I therefore need this. Then they want to put it together and then they show the whole budget of the ministry. So this task force, if we go for request for anything, the Ministry of Information, where they lead the awareness raising, risk and prevention, where we put any budget together also with the center. There's a task force lead where the one where they in community engagement, where they do anything that it's done. Because the Ministry of Information, what will they do for this Ebola fight? Not with regular budget. So if we want anything extra for this fight, now somebody they should pretend this whole task force will then put together.
So now in the public go hold accountable if anything go wrong when it comes to
funding.
fundings.
The president is always responsible. The task force, you are the leader. Then you don't create all these 5 pillars. Then the president don't put all these enhancers. If you don't work, now they provide leadership. When something can happen, not to say the president, why? Because he's the president. Now make way it can. Say, hey, the president don't take the thing serious. Not that people have not been working. But Khadija, when you see the president, she was so happy that the president himself don't take the thing seriously. You see, it's in increase awareness. The media.
You disagree? Not to the media.
I agree.
All right, so still on the discussion, let me look at the new measures here. How then they cover the aspects we get for do with whistleblowing? Because we see this week where the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency and the police been going to Funkia, for example, one of the people where they allege say they sell the drugs to the young people where they be want go do the arrest say, and me get young bobo them, we be the fight with the forces. So how the issue of protecting whistleblowers pan this feds, how will they cover under
So
them measures?
a number they don't give for call. Crime, corruption are the most dangerous thing for fight. They will fight back. Corruption will always fight back. Crime will always fight back. So when you want to report crime, when you want to report corruption, they knock chest. Because those that are involved, like we Kadija said, those where they do drugs, the president talked yesterday, not a poor man they do drugs, so na cartel. So if one tamper without a cartel, you have to be strong. So for them, they not expose you. I mean, they give you number. You just call that number, you give the details and left. And why are we invoking MACP or military and the police? It's a bit Salomon. Where is this Sojaman sons are in chance? Sometimes because they see OSD or normal police, this and that, now you go challenge them. But when you see OSD and Sojaman can some side, the situation is different. Because Sojaman is slapping at tomorrow, now they know the effect. Say they slap you. Sojaman they talk boko. When it can a day in action, then you know the Apple 7 salon. So bring the OSD operational division, support division into anything. From the police, you don't say there is regular police, there is this operational divisions, OSD support division. When you take them on there, they add military there, my sister. Put everybody we knows now that Sojaman and OSD they in charge of raid. They block them. Inactive, they block them. So that's the situation where they report on then go raid. That is what crime is. That person where they pay with that drugs, so where they sell and that company, so where they destroy. We get people that where they protect them. Because of that small money we they give them. Pipe they pump, boss now, they say, and I make that pump. And they make fine place for the people that they can't sit down. Now they sit down, they feel say, okay, now attack that they take. Behind them, they do in drugs. So when they come to them, waiting people that they can't attack with force, now waiting them, they see they do in the open. Not to the bad thing. No. Now somebody really knows that this person, not to this attack they sell, they do something else. But the public sometimes, now waiting what they do in the open, I don't know. So when you come, you must get that resistance. Sometimes later somebody say, so this man, now so he be there. But that moment when they come, if you are not prepared, they get that kind of resistance there.
Minister,
For event and day, now make we don't put the OSD and the RS staff.
now that all the measures they don't activate them, and I believe say as a government, una get the data for inform una waiting at the numbers presently outside the country they in this fight. with all the measures there, waiting on a projection. When una the project say from now to now, if these measures are really working, we go know by the way how the numbers then they go down.
So that is what that is what you don't speak to. Now, yesterday, Professor take we through comprehensively what are the figures na kissing mental home, na rehab centers. We know those figures. Now the president don't make this declaration. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Me and you, we make the calls for blow the whistle. Police go into actions. Things happen as we expect. 1 month, we will again look at mental home, what did happen there? Rehab centers, what did happen? If we see the number coming to the mental homes dropping, the one that they go to rehab centers dropping, they tells us this is working. If it is not working, that is when you go back to the drawing board to look at the strategy. That is where immediate review on the strategies come. What is not working? The president will say this, what is not okay. They will say, let's special fund it, they fund it, but people are not calling, people are not blowing the whistle. Then we need for do more communication. Now that side where they pay attention to. Okay, people they blow whistle, but the police are not alert to make the raid. Then inform, waiting on that strategy. We have to pay attention to. The police will say yes, we they get the calls, but we don't have vehicles. Provide them vehicles. That's how the Minister of Finance intervenes. So that is all what we want, a wholesome effectiveness of that system.
The conversation on the gone for a while now. All of a sudden yesterday, people see President Bio go visit the rehab center in Hastings. In the evening, he call high-level meeting with stakeholders. He make pronouncements them. He announce certain measures. What you go say to somebody who will say all of these not just fire brigade measures?
I return to that person say, I need for trust the system. You need for trust the process. The reaction of the president that we call long-term results of what we all be done they do. The way you say the media be done they cry, the media be done they raise awareness, and the impact of your work you do. You see, after the whole thing, I tell you say impact not to immediate results. If like what you have know what the president makes when you say now for but it takes time to watch the process. There we call them activity, output, outcome, then the impact. So all we don't do, we all the awareness pool with the raises and that, the impact will issue later that he moved the president. He moved the president for take all this thing now. Now as a result, like what you say, why did I do this? What do I get out of this? What do you get at long last? What do you get out of this? Now for me, move the first gentleman for take action. Are you not proud of it? You're proud of her. Say, we'll raise awareness on Kush. We cry. Police and talk this and that. But at the end of the day, the president himself took actions. And we're expecting now, say, because he don't take this action, something else.
I've seen a fire brigade,
not a fire brigade
approach because
not a fire brigade approach because it takes time for evaluate every situation. A look at what you want to be done say. A go to the rehab center. A whole talk with the people. A come back and report to them. Then say okay, when I don't report all these things have been existing. This situation don't reach so. So now at the time I say, let us do this. It's not a fire brigade. It's a well calculated and intended action for solve this problem.
And it go solve?
By the grace of God, with me and you continuing to monitor the process and bringing issues out.
Because
genuinely.
He make a statement yesterday, say, he want for regain the youth population again, where thereabouts for be wasted to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And with them measures there, we say now calculated measures them. President not just come out and take them. It think about them, and I sure say while it think all of the measures there, so where he announced yesterday, they be informed by experts then we surround them. Then go work. Abdel?
Yes. Then work.
Because this is not addiction. Drugs is about addiction.
Yeah. So the 5 pillars, if they are effective, then therefore produce result. The result is this means for end. If you not end, meaning these strategies we are not working. And we are not going to wait until we come back and say it is not working. We go for the review, the strategy. One thing we everybody be done they say was funding be lacking. So they say funding, I mean they make the situation not be effective. The president say put special fund. If people say nah, that they see people and go to court, in fact, the case they go just hang to the president say put special courts. Let them even work on Saturday for speedy trial of these matters. If they say the police no they do nothing about the crime around, now the president say let there be special force where they don't forbid rapid response on these issues. If they say that they find people that they can't arrest people, they go to court, then they come back. Perhaps they find them where they around, then drugs them. Not make anything in our law books. They say, AG, you go and look at all these things and come back with something, a cabinet for going to parliament, for ensure say anybody where they carry drugs now, the fine alone or the punishment, they deter other person for letting not carry it out. This is a wholesome strategy. With me and you, even the awareness raising what they do so now, they tell somebody, say, the president. I'll tell you naturally what is going to happen for this 1 month. Anybody will be associated with that thing is going to pipe down. Because say president don't put so immediately there's going to be that action. And we're not going to allow the heat, the steam for left the heat. Because the president don't talk 1, 2, 3 days, he act, then you go relax back 995 brigade action. But say president don't give, then you go relax. It can cost anybody in job.
I think sure not a thing where like na so we go heal up and you say this don't heal up, because in where we talk to the expert doctor na the other the Dr. Jallo, it tell we plain when they can really ready for the drugs and they even damage the facility just for go out for go get the drugs. Some of them when they can don't flush out of the system, then go reintegrate them, then can find out say then they come back because then they go get access back to the drug. Then set of people and they how these measures and they address the fact say when they come out, especially the one that perhaps not go work for do, not get nothing for do, then just the fence side within the selling drugs here for to come back. How will they address
in
that?
In the health center now, we don't say other things. Training, we they get a skills training. The rehab center for cater for skills training. The rehab center they try for reintegrate them even in the academic space. Some of the way they go back to school. That is why social welfare they deploy. You in your case now youth problem, youth ministry is sending to the youth ministry. Youth ministry, they work with NCTVA. Now, they try for give plumbing, tiling, this and that. I mean, a pathway, career pathway, that somebody will get diploma in plumbing, first degree in plumbing, master's in plumbing, PhD in plumbing. They do all that need for develop the middleman power. Not so everybody go to university forget academic degree. So skills training, somebody feel say, because you get the skills, but no way not for certify. So now that is why the youth ministry they do. So some of these people will be sent to the youth ministry. Some will be sent to the Ministry of Education. Basic. Some will be sent to higher education. Government they follow all these things and pay. And when a kind of society, like yesterday somebody told me say, whether they call give a tag. I said, no, that's stigmatization. You need to stigmatize somebody. But we make follow-up. We just can't dump them. It is a concern. If social welfare minister, that is always what it is in a concern. After you don't prepare these people, they go back. So now make what president say, you will take drugs. Show me who say you become more, would I give you drugs? Now that area. So if we have this information, by the time they go to tell you, they mean that possibility they say that drugs.
According to the doctor, nothing will like they can see secret. They know they let people know the right outside and they get them from.
So that make like when they don't appeal to them, with the praise, because when they don't work on you, you don't really accept like this. Michael, we yesterday talked to the president. How are you going to? If you ask her, would that be the say like yeah, they show you. But we're not gonna tell you now. Say Michael, don't say would that be the say like yeah. So there are some people where they come out and say, yes, I will see the president say, when I give you the names and then they clap. Because they're ready. They don't see what don't happen to them. You see, about this Kush, one thing we me they say keep dog before dog, let dog know say die day. The bobo then they see Kush they damage their friend. If you don't near them, he die. Then they still they tick. So we just get for continue for raise awareness with all. You just get for continue for blow whistle on the one way they car with them, the one way they sell in our communities. Because we don't really see say like human can say it's a time like now there would they be anything. Because once they don't take her, me young bobo he tell me plain say you know they left. I say no they left. He say I say okay. This being said, I don't try for let the car go back good and man, this and that. But that's a continuous process. The other way they say addiction, that is why they say it is addiction. You know, you become a fan, just like football clubs or whatever. If they score, they don't score goal by Liverpool, somebody dying out by force. That is addiction. But sensitization, I followed Marie to a point. Now me talk to myself. I said, let someone not kill you in a bottle. Now Marie they play and they watch. When the game was assignment, they said they beat a 5-0 we move. Not to Kane, not to this, but why they should also at the watch. And they say and say it they tell on me. I talk to myself. Because they affect me movement and then this is BBC Sports, this and that, just because they don't say they beat Madrid. I say, somebody somewhere defend your money, they affect me now. So I talk to myself. Yeah. So if there was nobody to talk to me, I talk to myself. If there's nobody to talk to them, let us talk to them. Because it's about them. Yeah. This one, person will say like first way they say, the politicians say they give them drug. No, nobody blame any politician saying they give them Kush. Now then baby defender. So let's talk to them, let it left. Not to drugs or that thing where they say that politicians that they give with you. Not to nobody they give them. Now then baby defender. And then no man I make Kush real Kush taker. That over there. Then if anything, then I do that bad. Small thing there. Where this it will make them take I go sell at 1,000 or 2,000 news. It will take your phone, you not even know the worth. It's just auctioneer because you just want to take that thing. So it is a collective responsibility for surety.
All right. Many thanks, Mr. Minister. We join with this morning for can discuss some of the measures them yesterday where His Excellency the President been put as additional measures to the already existing measures. And 5 pillars don't be added into the fight against
It's not a 5 pillar. 5 directives, new directives for enhance the 5 pillars.
5 new directives for enhance the 5 pillars in
for
the
fight against.
Well, we'll continue for getting conversation there for see how the 5 new directives there go help if the numbers then go up or if the numbers then continue for reduce. We will come back and update the general public. Now, a pleasure for get you this morning. Now, so they end the breakfast show for today. Many thanks to all who viewers them and also to the technical team. We give support to the production team for this edition of the breakfast show. Meet you. Watch Liberty TV throughout the day and also not forget throughout the weekend we interest in content them. We get for do with public interest for the produce fauna. Mina Khadija Bangura to say have a blessed weekend.
All right, till we meet again, Mabel Kabade, so get a good weekend and goodbye.